Nailed it.
Hey, I'm Bob,
I'm Jake.
and you're back with Nailed It the Podcast.
Man, we still got it.
We did not forget. It's good. That's good. We did not forget because it feels like it's been months and months and months, and it really hasn't, folks. It's just since last episode. We've been busy guys.
We have been between shows and just life.
We have to talk about. We have not gotten together to record since we were at the awards.
Yeah,
The awards happened right after our last recording.
That is true.
It seems like distant memory, and I kind of
really seems like it's been a lot longer from the awards show than it actually has been.
Agreed, but it hasn't been actually. It's been long enough. It's going on 2 months.
Yeah, that's true.
No, I'm sorry. It's going on a month since the award.
Yeah.
In real people time. We didn't win. Anybody wasn't paying attention.
We did not win.
We had what they call a snowball's chance in hell
of
winning in the first place. But once again, it's an honor to be nominated.
It is an honor to be nominated.
As I've said many times since that and going into that, I appreciate the acknowledgement.
Yes.
Someone acknowledged that we do a thing and put us in a category. It was cool.
It was cool to at least hear the name said over, the microphone and into the Hershey Theater.
Now I have said my piece. While in our hiatus here. In fact, right after the awards, I did a guest spot on our friend and fellow podcaster Dave Gates' Solo Musician podcast. I probably spent too much time talking about my feelings about the CPMAs. However, you and I haven't discussed this with anyone, so now's a good time. I mean, But since I've said my piece once before somewhere else, I'll let you go first. What do you think about the whole thing and our experience that night?
So, like, the actual experience of the night was very nice. To experience the, quote-unquote red carpet event and see everybody there, get to talk to a bunch of people, network a little bit with other musicians. I know from listening to your episode with Dave, talking to people like Addie Grace and there was another person, and I feel so bad for forgetting their name, that I had discussed a little bit with the show and them being on the show. So that was nice. I will say your opinions on it that were said on Dave's show, very similar to mine, that I didn't feel that the organization that runs the award show should have been nominated.
Bingo.
Not just for our category, but the other categories that they were nominated for and then won as well. Example being the cover and then being the Baba O'Reilly cover that won, for them to also then be slated to play said cover at the award show. Was not a gigantic fan of that. But again, I don't run an award show.
I also agreed with that, and I don't fault the people involved I don't fault the kids that won that award.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
I don't fault the guys that have the podcast that won, even though they're connected to the organization.
Right.
I just, as I said, make it make sense. There's no reason that they should even have been allowed in the voting or in the running.
Yeah.
If they're backed by the organization that runs it.
Right. And the
make it fair.
Exactly.
Make it fair. Make it not only fair, but make it make sense who wins and who loses, because there's no clear-cut way. Now, again, Dave got some better insight into that and gave me some insight on how they actually choose that stuff, and I'm fine. Like I said, I don't think we were ever going to win.
No.
Sure, there's like that 1% of hope. You're like, what if we did win? There's always a what if.
Right.
But we knew going in there we weren't walking home with a trophy.
Right.
An award, whatever they are.
Right. And I had said that to numerous people. I said that, like, afterwards, I had said that we went in knowing that we weren't going to win, and we're not upset that we didn't win. We're upset by who won.
That it doesn't seem right to the people who maybe should have won.
Correct.
I have since I talked to Dave, sat down with Dave, I've kind of dived in a little bit to the other people we were up against.
Yeah.
And there was a clear-cut best one there, and it didn't. I'm not trying to step on people's toes. I'm not trying to burn any bridges. Again, I think I can speak for you, although you have a microphone, you can do the same. I'm grateful they asked us there, that they put us on the ballot, and am I going to be upset if they do it again? No.
Right.
but I'm never going to walk in that going, well, this is our award. We got
Oh,
this.
absolutely. Yeah.
I don't care how good we think we are or how good we become
Yeah.
as a podcast. I don't think there's a clear cut that's definitely going to be the winner, because they haven't proven to me in any category that's the person that should have won.
Right.
And I'm not going to dwell on that anymore.
No.
It's not good for anybody.
Right.
The conversation was had with a lot of people, not just our podcast or anyone else's that I was involved, any of that. People in the industry or at that thing had a conversation about it.
Yeah.
I think they're very aware of what people think of how they are doing things and what maybe they need to change or could change.
Yeah.
That's on them.
Yeah.
That doesn't affect what we do forward with this.
Oh,
what
yeah.
we do with our podcast, our music, what this community does. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter outside of here.
Right.
Like I said on Dave's podcast, and I'm saying it again here because I want to keep putting on a recording so I can copyright it as a lyric, is we are literally a footnote in a history book no one's going to read.
Right.
That's fine. Somewhere we're listed in the Central PA Music Hall of Fame as a nominee for this year.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
And like we've said, we knew going into it we weren't going to win. And there was always that little what if in our minds. However, going in with the main mindset of we're not going to win, but it's cool to be nominated. Afterwards, I grumbled for maybe about a half hour afterwards, and then that was kind of it. Then I was over it.
I don't grumble anymore until we
talk about it.
It's not even a grumble anymore. It's just a statement. I've said it a few times now, and I've said it publicly now enough that it doesn't need to be discussed in depth anymore.
Right.
We just haven't been able to record since we were there.
Yeah.
So our feelings on why we didn't win or should have won or whatever, or who should have won, at this point, they're not irrelevant, but they're not something I don't think we need to keep dwelling on.
No.
I did enjoy the experience.
Oh, yeah.
I enjoyed
absolutely.
being there. I got to meet a few people that I never got to meet, heard about, some other guys, local guys, that I would have never even gotten the chance because I'm so busy to meet or talk with. And,
right.
And just the whole experience of it was very cool. I really enjoyed it.
And the kind of gathering of our friends that we don't get to see very often, or, we only really see at shows. It was another instance to kind of see everybody.
Right.
And just kind of share the moment, seeing our friends in Lyndhurst.
And we saw people we know win. I mean, the Boys in Gunmetal Gray won, and Dave won for vocalists. And, just seeing the guys up there and people, I've been friends with the crew of Screaming Daisies.
Yep.
I mean, I've known them since their very first show. You
Yeah.
know, and I later on did shows and things. I've known that. To see them win Best Cover Band, when they walked in the same attitude as us, as well, we're not winning, but it's nice that they put us on here. We've been doing it so long. Like those two girls were absolutely blown away by the fact that they won. They had no thought that they were gonna have to get there and talk to anybody. Like there were cool moments of people that really appreciated. One of the kids in the band that won the Bob O'Reilly cover, the best cover band or cover song, Alex. Alex is you and I. Alex is is a Twin Dicks artist.
Yeah,
Alex is probably the best of us. And I'm proud that young kid is getting his due.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that's if I was 16 and got up there with my band because we did a cover and won an award, I'd be pretty damn excited too.
Oh, absolutely.
And there was a lot of very cool about it. So it was never about us winning.
Oh, yeah.
But it's very cool to say that we did it and go experience it. And I would definitely do it again should we get nominated for something.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I need to go again just to go.
Right. Yeah, and I think I had even said that to you while we were there, like after, like when we were getting ready to leave and stuff. I was like, it's cool, but unless I'm a part of it in some way, I wouldn't really go out of my way to just go, like just to spend money or like. And don't get me wrong, I'd love to support anybody that I know, any friend that is nominated, but I can do that by watching the live stream on my couch.
I also would much rather go support those friends I know that are up for an award by seeing their live shows.
Yes.
Than sitting in a crowd where they can't hear me clap for them anyway.
Yes.
If they win.
Absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, it's about music and for the most part about live music.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. I have nothing more to say on it. Although if anybody wants to bring it up to me when we're out in public, I'll talk anybody's ear off about everything forever. So it's not the last time I'll talk about it, but it's more than likely the last time we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have anything else to add on it.
No, not there. I would say I said my piece. I've said the same thing that I've said to a few other friends about the situation, and like I said, I'm not going to grumble over it. It is what it is.
And again, this is no animosity against the Central PA Music Hall of Fame.
Oh, no,
or
not
the
at all.
People running the CPMAs. I just think there's some things that they need to work on, and I think a lot of more people than us, maybe more important people than us even,
Right.
have brought up to them. So hopefully a change will come. We'll see.
Yeah.
You know, it's still a relatively new thing. They're only doing it a few years, and
What was this, the fourth
fourth or fifth. I think it's they'll work some stuff out eventually, or they
Yeah.
won't. I mean, whatever.
Right.
Anyway, so we had some other things go on this month.
Yeah.
Since our last record, that was, of course, I think our last episode was beginning in mid-March.
Yeah.
CPMAs came at the end of March. We got into April. First thing we rolled into April we did was my sister's benefit.
Yes.
We did Patty Palooza for my younger sister Patricia, who I am very happy to say as of this recording today is the 24th of April as we're recording. She is home from she didn't unfortunately have to have a complete laryngectomy. She no longer has a voice box, so therefore she will no longer speak or sing ever again.
Right.
Which some of you, anybody who listens to this probably knows the story, or I've told it, or you've heard me tell it. My sister is also a singer, my younger sister, and a very good one. Country singer, old, kind of Dolly Partonish, not that voice, but like that feel of music. That's era of
That
music.
like Dolly Parton, June Carter.
She's an old country girl, like
Right.
old 50s country girl.
Okay, yeah.
And it's a weird thing to be the one in the family who knew exactly what she was going through to a degree when she told me about this, that she would never be able to sing again.
Right.
I don't think anybody in my family puts any discredit on that or didn't understand it, how that was making her feel. But I had someone ask me at one point, like, is that, like, that's what she's worried about? Like, she's not worried about the fact she'll never speak again, or, going on with her life and all that. They're getting her cancer out. I said, of course she's worried about that. But when you do something that not everyone can do, and that's something that you've built a world around,
Right.
that can be devastating.
Oh, absolutely.
But my sister's strong, and I know she's going through recovery, and I hope you listen to this, Patty. We love you, and you'll be all right. They got it. It turns out that the cancer was directly in her vocal cords.
Okay.
The fear was that it was behind her vocal cords in her throat, and that's why they had to do the laryngectomy, because there was no way to get to it without getting her vocal cords out.
Right.
So that was just the unfortunate worst case scenario. What it turns out, the stuff they were seeing in the scans behind her throat, from what I understand, was scar tissue from when she tried to do the radiation, and the cancer was actually contained in her voice box.
Oh, wow.
So sadly, no matter what, that was going to happen.
Right.
But they got it.
Yeah.
But as of yesterday, I believe, she is home recovering. Long recovery. She'll
Absolutely.
She'll come through. But I would like to point out, and I hope the IRS isn't listening, 'cause I don't know an exact number, but that benefit was something else. Now, that was your first time in that area, right? In
Yes.
New York, the 607, as they call it, that area.
I've been in New York, but never on that part of it. Like, obviously, I've been to New York City and
That's
things like
basically
that.
my family somewhere in the Pennsylvania or New York side of that area, lower eastern New York,
Right.
upper PA. And I had no idea what we were in for a venue. I knew the place was called A Touch of Texas. I was told it's in a strip mall. I'm like, I played strip mall bars and stuff. Cool. They found a place that's willing to do this.
Right.
And this place, clearly a cowboy bar. That's perfect for my sister. I had no idea that it was an old shopping store. It was an old Giant
Yeah.
that they converted into a club. And it was huge.
Oh,
The
yeah.
place was huge, like professional level stage, backstage area, green room. I was blown away. Big open area for line dancing in the middle, looked like an old roller skating rink.
Yeah.
I mean, everything about it. And the place was packed with people.
Oh,
like
my
as the
God,
day
yeah.
went on, it was packed with people. All the bands did a great job. It was just, it was a testament to how much my sister means to people,
Yes.
whether she knew it or not.
Yes.
It wasn't just our family, her friends. There were people coming up to her and introduced themselves. I don't know you, but I heard about you and I needed to be here.
Yes.
Like, that's huge. I'm going to say, several dozen different benefits over my years doing
Oh,
this.
yeah.
I've helped play. I've just donated baskets for work. I've flat out planned entertainment for a couple. I've planned some from the ground up. I've never seen that much turnout at a benefit so quickly done in just a couple months. I will say that I don't know what she did. Of course, there was a GoFundMe. There was people Venmo, and they don't like doing different things.
Right.
But as far as cash goes, and like I said, I hope the IRS isn't listening. I was told the number was somewhere in the $37,000 range
Holy
for cash
shit.
that day, which is a drop in the bucket what her medical bills are.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that is people giving
Yeah.
just in cash.
Yeah.
I'm still we're weeks past that, and I'm blown away by the support in the best way possible. Like I'm not like, oh, why would people do that? I know I've seen the kindness of people, but that was on a level I didn't experience.
Right.
And for our set, maybe one of the best sets we've done in a while, and we didn't have our usual. We had monitors, but we weren't begging for things. We weren't using in-ears. We're just going to go with it and do it. And my sister got up with us, and like just a great hour of our time or whatever it was, just overall. And I got to say too, I would have not expected anything from anyone. But when I asked you and Dave and Ken if you would do this, there was almost no hesitation. Yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah.
And that's a 4-hour drive, 3.5-hour drive. You guys could have said no for no other reason than like that's a lot to do in one day.
Right.
And you did, and I can't thank you guys enough for that. Dave and Ken, I know Dave's not listening, but Ken, I believe Ken listens from time to time. And I know I told you guys face to face, but me and my whole family so appreciative. And that area just nonstop now. Are you guys ever coming back?
Dude, I'll go back anytime.
I would love to if we ever have time. But it was just an amazing way to start off this whole month, and it was such a nice way to get a positive spin on what she's going through, because knowing her surgery was coming, and so that was a great way to get going.
I do have to give a little side story about that day, and it's one.
Oh, please.
It's one like you were, I guess, involved in it. We told you about it when we got there, but I rode up there with Ken, and we get there, and I'm like, oh, there's Touch of Texas, and he goes, oh shit, this is inside? I was like, yeah, what do you mean? He's like, I thought this was outside. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, I got a thermal shirt on, a sweatshirt, and a hoodie. And he brought his like sweatband to keep his ears warm.
Lord.
He was wearing like 3 or 4 layers of clothes because he thought we were playing outside. And we got into the venue, and he goes, I got to find a bathroom. I'm sweating. And so then that's when I don't know if you saw the two of us then. He holds his hand out. I grabbed his hand, and we went skipping across the room to the bathroom.
Oh no! First of all, maybe not the best area to do that in.
Oh my god! It was well, yeah, true.
But I think we made an impression, and that's not what we went there for.
Oh yeah!
I just went there to do what I do. My family was there. I wanted my sister to have a good time, and she said way back when I asked her what I could do, when she found out, she said, when they plan a benefit, and I know they're going to, I want you to sing.
Yeah.
It was never about what band I was bringing, or obviously I have other things, we all have other projects, but I do believe that Nailed It was the right band.
Oh, absolutely.
Any one of my bands could have done well there. Don't get me wrong. Ghostlight would have killed it in that room.
Oh, yeah.
Fell From Zero even probably would have done well, because even though it was a different vibe, like I could have done other things, but Nailed It was the one. That was the right one for what we were doing and who we were around. And
yeah,
I think, we once in a while, the 4 of us get together and play like 1 hour somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's like the best time we ever had. There's no stress. There's like, oh, what are we playing now?
Yeah.
Oh man, we got to fill in our 20 minutes. These are our jams. Let's go do this.
I will say it was very fun to have to scramble to readjust our set lists.
Oh yeah.
Because of how many other bands were playing.
Yeah.
The songs
I'm just
we
thinking,
play.
no, nobody's going to play. Oh, damn it. Oh, well, fine. It's just one. Oh, there's another song. Oh, damn it.
Well, I was standing with Ken watching one of the first bands, and they did the beginning of Boot Scoot and Boogie on the snare, and Ken called it just from the snare. Like no other instrument had played yet. All you heard was that da 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 da, and Ken's like Boot Scoot.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought that was even a good idea to put on the side. I was thinking about where we were and who I should have known better. There's other bands there. But
Yeah.
all worked out. And also, everybody we talked to from the other bands, super cool people.
Oh, yeah.
Man, everybody is super nice, which isn't always the case.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a really good time, and I'm really glad we got to do that. And it just it kind of started off a whole musical month pretty well for me.
Yeah.
Because I've been busy.
I've been, I won't say busy, but I've definitely been doing things this week, or not this week, this month.
Well, and I don't know. I had a show. Well, let's see. I rolled out of that weekend. We came home Sunday. Now you all left that night.
Yep.
We came home Sunday. Monday, I did my podcast interview with Dave.
Yep.
I played that Thursday with Ghostlight at Springhouse.
Yes.
Doug's first show back. Our drummer Doug was out for a while. Jimmy had filled
Yep.
in. Jimmy showed up to stare at us the whole time. Truth be told, I want to thank Jimmy. Jimmy offered all of us at our last gig with him to show up, and just in case something happened with Doug.
Yeah.
Jimmy was legitimately concerned that maybe Doug was pushing it because he thought he needed to.
Yeah.
Doug was in a lot of pain when he was done. Didn't say much to us. Was hurting on Friday, he said, but by the time we played again the following week,
Yes.
he was, and we played 2 hours straight. I'll get to that gig. That was a great gig. But the fact that Jimmy was willing to come and just chill out for a couple
just to
hours.
make sure he was good.
Just to make sure he was good. I'll say it again, anybody that's listening, Jimmy needs a band. Somebody hire this guy, because it's going to come down to us making him the third host here or something, and then we'll get sick of him. And it's better if he's just drumming, is what I'm saying. But, I had that going on.
I just shoulder checked my mic.
Well, you know what? And that was the same. Actually, that was the same week. I'm sorry, I got my own dates screwed up. That following Saturday, Ghostlight played in Marietta for their Cherry Blossom Festival, which is a big outdoor thing they do every year, and it was beautiful.
I saw pictures of that. Yep.
It was windy as hell, but it was beautiful. And we went down. I got there a little early. We went. Here I am skipping things again. I played the Naughty Goose the night before.
Ah, that's right. Because
I had booked
asked
that
me to come
pretty
down.
much that week when we got home. I played the Goose on Friday night down Northeast, which is nice. Got to go down and open up the camper, see some people. Our good friend Dave Heisey got up there.
Of course.
I like to tell my Lunchable story. Have I told you the Lunchable story yet? Dave
I
got
might
up.
have been a little too drunk. But...
I asked Dave to do a song. He's like, "What song?" As he stands there just detuning my guitar. I was like, what are you doing, man? So he played Mud Shovel. And when he got to the low part, somebody at the table I was standing back goes, "Is he saying Lunchable?" And I don't know why I can't get out of my head, but think every time you hear Mud Shovel in the future, just think of him saying Lunchable.
Man, he's gonna come out with his own food album. He does the Chili Dog song.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We had that whole discussion. Rich got up, my guitar player Rich, our Twin Dicks master.
Yeah.
He got up and played a song, although Rich may have had a few Coronas. Even he points out just the look on his face in the pictures. But it was a good time. Then I rolled home, did that Marietta thing. We got there early, went down to Shank's Tavern. Now, we were playing for McCleary's, but we were outside the street in front of their place.
Yeah.
Our friend Eric McNeil, the drummer from Screaming Daisies, and our friend Josh Wolpert were playing an acoustic gig at Shank's. So
okay.
We got back in time. Like, we can catch the last half hour of their set because they're done before I ever go on.
Right.
We get down there and they're in there playing just whatever. People everywhere. It's packed house. And Josh keeps playing stuff. He's like, "Well, Bob will sing this." No, Josh, I'm now in the midst. I'm going into set 3 of 4 in 3 days, which ended up with 8 hours of singing in 3 days.
Jesus.
No wonder I got sick the following week. But he kept going. Played Sugar We're Going Down.
Of course.
He's like, he gets to the second half. He's like, "I don't know the rest of the words. I thought Bob would come sing." I'm like, "Nope." Did something else. Finally, he starts playing "Plowed" by Sponge. He's like, Bob will do this. And I'm like, "I'm not singing before I go on, Josh." And there's some guy sitting in the room.
Yeah.
"Oh, dude, play that song's awesome." I looked at my wife. She's like, "Just go do it." And I haven't sang a song now. It's a great song. We got there and we did that. It was great. And I was like, "All right, thanks, guys. I'm going to go back over here and finish my drink so I can go." And then he's like, "Hey, we want to do one more. Hey, Bob, you feel like doing one more? It's going to be a little different." I'm like, "Yeah, I'm an attention whore. I'll go. I'm a singer.
Right.
You already got me. I'll go."
Right.
He's like, Lisa, he goes, "Hey, Mr. Meyer, do you know break stuff?" I'm like, "Are you serious?" Of course I know break stuff. So we did an acoustic rendition of break stuff, drums and guitar. Nobody expected it coming, and everybody got done like, "Oh my God." Everybody's like losing their minds. I'm like, I got to go sing some country for you up the street here. But we did that gig, and Ghost Light went on a little bit later, and we decided we had such a good crowd that we just gonna. Doug's like, I don't want to take a break. Shoulders good. Instead of doing 2 shorter sets, just do the 2 hours straight.
Right.
And I'm telling you, we probably had 300 people in front of us just dancing and singing. It was one of the best shows we've had in a long, long time.
Yeah.
And just felt good. We had a couple little kids up. Like, it was just great. Little Teddy got up.
I
played
saw
with
little
us,
Teddy was up there.
There's another little guy who's just so into Morgan Wallen. He's like, you going to play? I was like, we'll play whiskey glasses. I don't know why an 8-year-old was asking me for whiskey glasses, but hey, man, whatever works for everybody. I don't know what you're going through. But it was just a good time.
Yeah.
And we wrapped that up. I immediately jumped in the car, more or less threw my stuff in the back of the car so I could drive an hour away to do an opening set with Fell From Zero.
Yeah, that's right.
We're going middle grade at Jen Jen's up in East Berlin. And you know what? First time in there, small room, awesome vibe. Cool people.
Really?
The food was good. GMG was good. It was great to just get out there and rock for 45 minutes, an hour. But I unfortunately, and I apologize to the guys I didn't stay. I was like, I'm physically and vocally spent, which it sounds like in this recording probably, guys, but that's because I'm getting over a cold. So my voice is a little in and out today. It was just show after show after show. The following Tuesday, I played at the Falls, as I usually do.
Yep.
And then I thought I was playing the night after that at Riverside, but turns out I don't know how to tell my own calendar. And what happened?
So what was it? It had to be 7:45 in the morning. I get a text from Riverside saying, "Hey, are you available to play tonight at Riverside?" And I'm thinking, well, I was planning on coming to see you play.
Right.
And immediately I'm like, okay, something happened.
Yeah, right. And you give me a text. Are you still playing it? I'm like, yeah. Why?
Well, like, so the not just because I wanted to make sure you were still playing because I was planning on going, but normally if one of your shows get canceled, you let me know. Or
right. Like, I'm not just tell you to show up and then not.
Yeah. And that's why I texted you. I was like, are you playing tonight? And your initial message said yes, but then like give it a minute later, you sent another one that was like, shit, never mind.
He messaged me like as I'm typing back to you, hey, I don't have you on the calendar tonight. I'm like, what are you talking about? So I roll back through my phone, and sure enough, I don't even know where I got that date from. It's not even a date we discussed. Somehow I put it on my calendar that way. Still having the one I actually am playing in May. Somehow
so you just had this random one on your
just
calendar?
Random Wednesday in there. I don't know why I would ever thought I was playing there, but turns out, I guess they had a cancellation.
Yeah.
And he was calling you anyway.
Yeah.
And he's like, actually, if Jake couldn't do it, I was going to call you anyway. I'm like, no, you know what? I actually need the night off. It actually was strange fates that you got to do it and I got that night. So how'd that go?
It was a lot of fun. That was my first time playing there as a scheduled artist, because there was that other time I came to see you play and you and I did stuff as we normally do. Little cool outside.
Not quite there yet. The weather's been messing with us.
Yeah, well now next week's supposed to be like 80.
Yeah, it's supposed to be cool Friday and Saturday, and then Sunday
sweltering hot.
You know, when I'm inside all day playing and then going to a concert.
Yeah,
because that's how the weather works.
But like, so they had me out. They gave me the option of playing inside or outside, and I picked out.
You chose the pavilion. There,
I chose the pavilion. Yeah, not just because I like playing raised up, but it was so crowded in there, in the other room.
When they have the windows or the quote unquote windows and walls down for the closed in porch.
Yeah,
it gets loud and packed quick.
That was the other thing, was I didn't want to be so overbearingly loud that it drove people away. So I stayed out there, and eventually they rolled the windows up so that people could hear me. And there was a few people that are like, oh, come on in, play inside and this and that. And I just told them, I was like, I'm only here for 2 hours. I'm going to be up here. But the people that were sitting right there at the windows and at the little entranceway to go inside, they were enjoying it. It was very country heavy. So playing, my Alan Jacksons, my George Straits, my Brad Paisleys.
Work in a room. That's what we do.
Exactly.
Cover artists. That's what we do.
So overall, it was very well. There was one guy who was loving it. He was standing out there in front of the stage for a majority of the time. I think he had to go pee or something every so often. But people were really enjoying it, which, if people enjoy it, then I enjoy it.
Right. That's kind of the point.
Exactly. Oh, and the guy that runs everything, he was saying to me, he has me in the rotation now for future dates.
Good.
Plus, it's close to home.
Now, I did kind of glaze over something there only because it dovetailed out of my story and yours, but we got to backtrack a couple days because you were doing something that I was at the Goose.
Yes. I had to remember what date that was. Lisdexia. We had our debut show over at Love Drafts as part of the Lyndhurst EP release party. It was Lyndhurst with us in Lisdexia, Dragon Fruit, Lives Lost, and The Borderline. I've heard a lot about Dragon Fruit through my friends and also by, because I know those two have done a lot of shows together. They were very cool. It was very cool to see them, actually hear what they sound like. I really enjoyed their feel, the laid back but still in your face kind of feel. Borderline, I had heard of through a photographer named Jeremy, who I've met through the wrestling world. He does photography for Three Legacies Wrestling, and he knew I was in other bands, and he would talk to me, and he's like, "Oh, my friend's in this band called The Borderline. You ought to check them out." So I finally got to see them. They were very cool. I loved their in-your-face feel. Like all these bands had such a good in-your-face feel, which you and I would both greatly enjoy.
I do love musical aggression. Anyway.
And then Lives Lost, which was great to see some old friends, Tanis, Pellegrini.
I've actually never seen them. I've seen videos now, and I see they're doing good things. I just never been at a show, but I'll get there.
It was great to see Tanis and their new member Chad, who I've known for years through several different bands. He was a part of Nimrod for a very short period of time. He was playing bass before Ed.
Okay.
So I initially met him in Nimrod, and then he was playing guitar in 10 Ton Stone after I had left.
Oh.
And now he is a part of Lives Lost. So it was very cool to see them, see some old friends. Lyndhurst, as always, being phenomenal.
Right. As
they always are. And again, great to see Ed, Tim, and Mark, and Kevin. I always got to remember all their names.
The guys.
Yeah, good to see the guys.
Ed and the boys. And Tim.
And then us in Lisdexia to go up and be a part of the show. We had about a 25-minute set. We were having some technical difficulties at first, and I think it was mainly because they don't really get a whole lot of 6-piece bands in, which...
That makes sense, because there aren't a whole lot of 6-piece bands.
Our actual playing was very, very good, or at least I think we were very good.
Well, judging from the pictures you put up, you had the most rock and roll show of all time.
Tried.
It looked like you were enjoying yourself, and that's key.
Yeah. This first show, yes, of course, I would love for people to enjoy us and listen and enjoy what they're listening to, but I also wanted to have fun being in an original band again, because I haven't been in an original band since 2017. Or no, I'm sorry. Light the Lamp. Duh.
So 2020, 2021. When did you leave 2022?
I left Light the Lamp a little over a year ago.
All right, so still either way, I mean,
I still say that to me wasn't my original band because I didn't write those songs.
I mean, it's all, I guess that's a perspective thing, but that actually tracks. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, like I was singing the lyrics that the previous singer had written. I think the only song I had ever been a part of the writing process was the song Miracle that we had released, and our Christmas song, because of course I had to be in a band and make them do a Christmas song.
Right, yeah, you do that.
But no, backtracking a little bit back to Lisdexia, the show all in all was a lot of fun. Had a little bit of neck pain for about 3 days afterwards from the headbanging. But all in all, it was a good show. And as of right now, we don't have anything booked until October. And that will be my first time at Gen Gens. I have to look at all the details of that, of when in October and with who and all that stuff.
That's a summer away. Buddy.
Yeah.
But it's coming. It gives you guys time to think about it, and maybe something will come up. And
Yeah.
it's cool.
But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Good.
Then, if we fast forward to last Friday, where we had a little bit of a hometown show, at least for you and me, over at the Orioles Club in Lebanon.
Yep.
Which was that was a very cool space.
Very cool room, cool time, good time. I mean, attendance wasn't top of the world, but I kind of walk into shows expecting less, and hopefully we get more. And the people that were there, clearly you had a solid section of people coming to see you. But the people that are even the regulars, I think, that were there were enjoying us. I could see people back at the bar singing along, and it was definitely a good time. Maybe someday, and I hope someday we can play a show on time. But Ken would have to get there and do his thing. Ken, every time. But overall, I think we had a good time. It was good. It's just good to get up and play. That we get to do our thing. There's some bleed over for me with the acoustic shows and Ghostlight shows with the songs we play. Yeah. But the fact that the three of us share vocals, and we do other stuff, really, that's part of the fun. Also, let's just do this. I mean, we did Kansas, and we've never even tried to play that together, except for, I think we did the intro once at a show.
We did it at the racehorse one time, once. And it went boom and just died.
But we actually did the song. In fact, there's video of it.
Yes, there is.
Video. I don't know if that's on our Facebook page or
I think it is
live,
on Facebook.
Either way, yeah. It doesn't sound too bad, actually.
I went back and was very impressed with it. The other one I was very impressed with, and I always say we are a good band, but I was also surprised. Like, I was just surprised to hear how good it sounded. Was our version of Chicken Fried? Was the vocals in Chicken Fried? I thought that sounded very good.
It's funny you brought that up, because I ran into something different on Chicken Fried. I thought how different it sounds than when I do it with Ghostlight, because of how Ken plays the drums.
Oh, really?
I believe Ken he's not playing the song beat for beat. I think he's playing the version of it he knows. Right. Like, this is what I have to play. And it is different than what Doug plays and what Jimmy played, which is a lot more like, this is what the recording is. Right. And it just makes for a different feel, because I'm in another world, I'm playing that in a different 4-piece where I'm doing the same thing I'm doing, but there's no one singing with me. Right. And we got a different bass player doing different things. It sounded, I don't disagree that it didn't sound good. It was just that sounded different to me than what I'm used to that song sound like, because there's lots of recordings of me doing it with Ghostlight. Right. Hell, there's recordings of me doing it alone. Right. So, but I enjoy that song. I don't care what anybody says.
Oh, I love playing that song.
I think it's a good bar sing along, and that's, again, we're in a cover band.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to be doing? Songs no one knows? Right. Then we might as well just be doing original music. Right. So, that's why we play Bye Bye Bye.
Absolutely.
If we know that's what we're playing. Right, Jake?
Listen, the drum beat Ken started with, you can't deny that was the Pour Some Sugar on Me drum beat.
Yeah, and actually just riding on that. And you're then telling me I was in the wrong key anyway. But
yeah.
I was riding the B, which is Pour Some Sugar on Me. So it's fine.
That's fine. It was the combo of both, because I heard the drum beat and I was like, well, what are we doing? And then you hit B, and I was like, okay, well, that's Pour Some Sugar on Me. And I was like, I don't think we've ever done that as Nailed It.
I guess we should have just kept trying. That's my own fault, too. For that set a weird motion where we had to play that's not what we're playing. So it's fine. Like, if we can't laugh at ourselves and we're not having a good time, that means no one else is. So I'm fine with it. But overall, good show, and they talked to us about doing some other stuff. So I think if we can work it out, we'll definitely be back. So
I was very appreciative of the friends and family that came out, at least on my end, because like my mom was there, and my mom's best friend, my dad, and two of my friends.
Guys from wrestling.
Yeah, my buddies Al Snook and Jarl Matthias came out. And Al Snook has seen us before. He came out to our show at Riverside.
Gotcha.
But my buddy Jarl Matthias, he has never seen us. And he texted me afterwards. He's like, I'm so sorry that I couldn't stay, that you guys were awesome. He has a kid at home.
Yeah,
But,
that's understandable. Priorities.
Oh, yeah. But he loved it. And
Good.
it made me happy to see the people that don't get to normally come out and see us. Because
chance.
We're always down here. And
Yeah, we don't get to go up. That's my home area, too.
Yeah.
Well, I go
Kinda.
around. That's where I grew up.
right.
I've lived in York longer than I lived there, so I guess York is is home.
right.
But I grew up there, and I have my friends and family there, and so I'd love to do more stuff we could. But now the night after that, I went and did another show, played another Fell From Zero gig.
That's
which
right. Yeah,
seemed to
yeah.
be popping up a lot lately, as opposed to
I even thought of
not
that.
having gigs. Now I even can to the count. Even after this, we have 5 more gigs this year.
Really?
And we got asked to do another one yesterday that unfortunately we can't do because we don't have the date. But we played at a new venue for us called the Bourbon Tavern down in Freeland, Maryland.
Oh, okay.
Which is connected to, we used to play the Bourbon out in Hanover.
Okay,
Bourbon
that's
Bar
where I
and Grill
thought
in
you were
Hanover.
going to
We used to play
mention.
there. In fact, Fell From Zero played their second show ever there. And subsequently many after that. So Chuck, the owner, I had long, years of dealing with, 10 years of dealing with, and I knew he had this new place, but so he worked it out, and cool room, it has a cool vibe, seems like cool regular, smaller room, but we were unfortunately way too loud. They don't have bands like us, and I don't think there are many bands that pay the heaviness we do in covers anymore.
Right.
Not like there used to be. And we were working with a different sound guy, so he wasn't familiar with us yet, so it took him a few songs to try and dial it in. So it was a highly natural reverb room, and unfortunately, while we were sound checking, I saw people getting up from tables and leaving, either going to another room or leaving altogether.
Right.
I think we kind of ruined their Saturday night crowd a little bit, which I feel bad about. I never want to see. I don't want anything I'm doing being the reason that a place doesn't make money.
Oh, right.
They had a full bar, but the dining room / dance area, band area was slim.
Right.
But you know what? We got up and did our thing, and that band, we don't practice anymore. I know we've been doing it 10 years this year. I am genuinely impressed every time we play because those guys could phone it in. They don't.
Right.
I was coming off of, I was definitely sick. I was sick Friday night at Orioles. I wasn't sure how my voice was going to be, which for all intents and purposes really held up. I actually, somebody record this because I don't say this much. I actually think I sounded and sang very well Saturday night. And then come Sunday, I could barely talk or breathe, and I've been sick for the last couple of days. I'm just getting through it, and it's starting to move itself into my voice. So, but that was a really cool thing. I think we're going to go back probably with Ghostlight. That's the discussion. I think that's a better band.
Yeah.
Nailed It would probably do okay there, and maybe we get in next year. I mean, I'm literally down to probably a handful, and I mean that in literal, like 5 or less dates I can play anywhere the rest of the year.
Right.
So I can't just throw things out. So we'll see. But that was a good time. Of course, we've got nothing coming up tomorrow. I was gonna say full band.
Full band wise, yeah.
But tomorrow, this was something I just booked last week at the Harvest Seasonal Grill. Now, there's a couple of those are a chain. This is the one up in Union Deposit Road up above Harrisburg, and I booked this as a solo thing. I have another one in a few weeks too, and then my voice is doing this. So thankfully, I had spoken to her originally. I said, look, Thursday nights is going to be just me. Both Dave and Jake work jobs where they're not going to be able to make a 6 o'clock
Right.
gig because, again, it would involve leaving work early or something. And I said, so I'll be doing it solo. And then when you offered to be there, I can't thank you enough for that. I don't hear Dave asking if I need help. No offense, Dave. I know you wouldn't do it because you don't do weekday shows. We discussed this. Just last weekend we discussed this. But so it's now turned into a duo show for us, which, man, I would have either been like this and not been able to get. It's only a 2-hour gig.
Right.
But I played there once before last year out on their patio. Beautiful little, kind of faces a shopping center, but it's this beautiful little outdoor area.
Yeah.
But it was a Sunday, like early Sunday, and it was fairly dead, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Depending on the weather tomorrow, we'll either be inside facing the bar or we'll be outside. Either way.
Yeah.
Very cool people. Good food and drinks. If you're in the Harrisburg area, I know that's rough for my York people and your Lebanon people, our people,
Yeah.
to drive up there and be there by 6 o'clock to see a Thursday night show. But for anybody who's in the Harrisburg area or Hershey or anywhere that wants to buzz over and check us out, please do that. It's on Brindle Road.
Something like that.
Something like that. But it's
I
up
don't
above
remember.
Union Deposit.
Yeah.
Harvest Seasonal Grill. Cool place, good food. Grab some drinks, maybe some dinner. See us play. It'd be cool times.
Yeah.
6 to 8 tomorrow. So that's cool.
Yeah, that'll be a fun one. And I think that closes out April for me.
Yeah, me too. Well, no, I'm sorry. I play Sunday, the Sherwood Inn.
Ah.
My first time there. I'm playing 2 to 5.
Yep, that's what I did.
I assume on the deck because it's going to be nice out.
Yeah.
So I have that coming. That's closing out my April, and then I have to, just like the other week with Ghostlight, I got to throw my stuff in the car and drive up to HMAC for an Asking Alexandria concert. I promised my wife she could see, and that doors are at 6, so we'll make that.
I liked them.
There's a couple of bands on the first 2 bands. If I miss them because of travel, so be it. But Of Mice and Men is on the bill.
Yeah.
Wait, is that right?
Of Mice and Men?
Is it Of Mice and Men or I'm sorry, Memphis May Fire.
Ah.
I was like, no, it's not Of Mice and Men. It's Memphis May Fire, who I absolutely love, and actually the first time I ever saw them was at HMAC, so it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
They are the undercard or whatever you want to call them, the supporting direct support.
Yeah.
So no matter what, we're seeing those bands. So a lot of running around again for me as usual. And we'll be down at the campsite Friday and Saturday, finishing our opening, and
Yep.
it's Marshall's birthday. Shout out to Marshall Kramer's birthday.
Hey.
It's always a Marshall Kramer birthday weekend, the end of April. So we have that. That's playing before the season even starts. So I knew I was going to be there. I had taken off Saturday, in fact. So that's making for a busy April. May's a whole nother thing, but I know I don't know that we'll get an episode out before that, so I know I have one coming May 1st. I'm playing at Fenders, a solo gig at Fenders in New York on Wednesday night.
May 1st you're there?
Yep.
I'm there May 2nd.
You're playing that Thursday?
I'm the next day.
All right, so cool. So we will be taking over Fenders for the midweek, the first week of May, and then
Dave, get a Friday show.
by then we'll be into getting into. I know I have gigs that weekend with Ghostlight, and we're getting to my wife's birthday and every other person we know in May who has a birthday. I don't even want to get into it. So that's coming, and we'll hopefully get a little closer on the recording this time. So.
Yeah. Oh, and for concert wise, I was just at a concert this past Sunday, up in Reading, to see Sabaton and Judas Priest.
Well, that's enough of that conversation.
I was gonna say the look on your face was such a bomb reaction to that.
It's almost one of those. I'm not sure. I'm gonna find the right word. Why?
Dude, so Judas Priest has been one of my favorite bands since I was a kid.
I get them. I get knocking them off a list. And even if it were a situation where someone's like, hey, I got a ticket, come on. And I was free. All right, but I'm not going to go out of my way.
So it was one of those things where I had my eye on the show for the longest time, like since they had announced the tour. And I was like, God, it's again, like a bucket list band. Judas Priest for me, and I was like, man, I want to go because they come around here fairly often. I would say, like usually when they tour, they hit Reading,
Hershey, somewhere. Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta go this time. And the day came of the show, and I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to. And then a friend of mine was like, hey, they got tickets. Like it's this much. I forget how much it was, and I was like, all right, I'm going. And I got them off of TickPick. With one of them resale apps.
Yeah.
And
say dick pic.
Yeah.
Okay, man, whatever you need to do to get your tickets. Go on with your story.
And so I was like, all right, I'm going. And let me tell you, that show, like, just starting off with Sabaton, I had known who they were, and I kind of knew what they were like, but I did not expect to love them as much as I did when I saw them.
I'm guessing this is why you sent me a message.
Oh, yeah, this is why I texted you the next
what do you
morning.
think of them? I'm like, who? I think I heard the name one time. And I have not since either gotten the chance to.
So they kind of fall into that like subgenre of metal with bands like Amon Amarth, where it's I call it battle metal.
Oh, okay.
Where it just sounds like you're about to just go and kick some ass when you listen to this band.
Well, maybe I need to listen to them then.
Like songs like The Red Baron and The Last Stand. Like just the most brutal sounding
So-
titles.
So not fight music, battle music.
Oh yeah, no,
You're
this
going
is
to war.
battle music. And like the drummer's drum riser was a tank.
Okay, they they definitely are getting it.
He sat on a tank. But they were awesome, and then Judas Priest killed it as I know they would. And yeah, like I was just blown away. I loved that show, and for the cheapo ticket I bought, that arena, I always say there's no bad seat in that arena where we saw Slipknot.
Right.
There's not a bad spot in that arena.
Yeah, it's a good place to see a show.
That was, back when I saw Corey Taylor there, when he was doing the CMFT tour, it was like he was doing 4 or 5 shows as like a test run for the second tour, which was the CMFT2 tour. And that arena was one of them. They cut the arena in half. Like where, like if you remember where the stage was when we saw Slipknot, move it halfway
Basically
up the
where
arena.
the sound guy was.
Yeah. And it was weird because it made it even smaller. It was the weirdest thing I had ever seen. But it was real cool to see Corey do everything. He did his solo stuff. He did Stone Sour stuff. He even did Slipknot stuff.
Yeah, I know he's done that with his solo stuff, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. So that was a cool little show to see at that venue, which I guess can segue into our top 5.
In fact, it is. Yes, our this season go at having top 5 lists. Our thing we do. This particular episode this month, we're going to talk about the top 5 venues we've played at.
Yes.
I didn't want to get confused because at some point we will talk about the top 5 venues we've ever been to.
Right.
But this is specifically places we've played in, which, depending on our scale here, can be really big or, like on my end, is going to mostly be bars.
Yeah.
But sometimes that's just the way it was. So I don't have any honorable mentions because that would be a long list. I've had a lot of cool places that I played over the years, done one-offs, festivals.
Yep.
The benefits I talked about before, some of those are some of the best shows I ever did.
Oh, yeah.
We did them every year.
Yeah.
So it's just, that would be singling out stuff for making stuff sound like it's less than the others for some reason. I specifically kept this to 5 places that were just some of the best single experiences I had.
That's exactly what I did.
So go ahead, roll me with a top 5.
So starting with number 5, I was trying to find a good number 5, and I think the best one I could think of was Shocktoberfest in Sinking Springs, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I had played there a total of 2 times with Transylvania 666. That's where we played our first show as Transylvania. But more specifically, the reason that this made it onto my number 5 was the second time we played there. The stage was big, and they sat us they sat the stage right by the line for the haunted hayride, and it helped with the whole ambiance of the venue, or I can't even really call it a venue because it was an outdoor, almost like a Field of Screams kind of place, like a Field of Screams, Jason's Woods kind of deal, one of them haunted attractions.
Right.
But it was neat because the people who were getting ready to go on the hayride were there to, listen to the music. But then after they got off the ride, they were standing there watching the show. And it was a overall cool feel, very spooky Halloween, which for me is very odd because I'm such a Christmas nut. But it was a very cool place to play. Good lighting, good sound. It rained for like 2 minutes, which they weren't even sure if they were going to continue with the show because of the rain. But it
kept itself from making it.
Yeah. But yeah, for me, number 5 is definitely Shocktoberfest in Sinking Springs.
Well, my number 5 is not a venue, but it was literally a stage set up on a street.
Okay.
And I think I may have previously brought this up on our last season when Jimmy was in. When I was in Johnny Chimpo in that band with Jimmy and Tim from Lyndhurst, some other guys, we did a marathon in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
right down near the monuments, near Monument Park.
Yeah.
They shut down the streets for this, I don't know, 5K, whatever it was. We were set up on the street along the path of the run.
Right.
So people would be coming at us on our what for us would have been stage left towards us.
Okay.
30,000 people were in this marathon.
Yeah.
And every one of them had to run past us while we played. So we had to run down. We had to be down there at 6 a.m. We
Yeah.
started playing at 8 a.m., I believe.
Holy
We basically we played our whole time, which is like 2.5 hours or something.
Yeah.
And there was nonstop people going by, cheering, yelling while they were going by. And it was just a odd thing for a rock band to be up that early in the morning. But we played in D.C. We're right down there driving past, like you can see behind us. If you stepped out on the stage and looked behind us, you could see the Washington Monument with like the sunlight over it. Like
Yeah.
it was just, and the one and only time I say I played for 30,000 people at one show.
Yeah.
Was it at one time? Absolutely not. But 30,000 people went past us while we were playing, and it seemed like such a logistic nightmare and such a weird thing. And it ended up being, for me, one of the most memorable things I ever did.
Yeah.
So it wasn't even a venue. It was on the street.
Well, that's kind of similar. Like, we both have very similar number fives where, like, this wasn't a set venue. This was,
an event.
Yeah, it was an event that they set a stage up and said, here, play.
And it really always stuck with me. So
Right.
I got we had to drive past and all the streets are closed down because this was I believe a Sunday morning, if I remember right. Maybe a Saturday morning. But all these streets are down near like the FBI building and like all this stuff like was just like ghost towny that early in the morning because they had all the roads blocked off.
Right.
There wasn't traffic in a place where there's normally a lot of people, and it was just kind of surreal seeing all this stuff and being escorted to these places as we're driving in because we were there for the entertainment. So that definitely will always stand out as something I got to do.
Yeah.
Would I do it again tomorrow? Probably not. Like that's not. But it was an experience that I've never forgotten and I bring up on a regular basis. It definitely made my top 5.
Right. So then I guess moving on to number 4, this was a one that it needed to be on the list somewhere, but I had it as a number 4 because it wasn't the greatest venue I've ever played, but it has a soft spot in my heart, and that's the Champ in Lemoyne.
The Champ.
Now it's just closed now. Champ is no more.
I've never played there, but I was there once, maybe twice. It definitely leaves an impression.
So the Champ has a soft spot in my heart because I played my first what I call my first show there with a band. Like I did the one-off thing. I think I talked about it on another episode where I played at the Downtown Lounge.
Right.
That was the first time I ever played in front of a crowd, but the first band I was ever in, our first show was at the Champ.
I believe, we may have talked about this before.
We might have. Yeah. It was opening for Maylene and the Sons of Disaster, which I didn't know had a following until I joined Light the Lamp and discovered that our bassist was a giant fan of them and like followed them.
Everybody's got something. No, that's the whole point. Isn't
it? But it was like you said, it's not the ideal venue. It's, you had to go over a bridge and then underneath the underpass to this warehouse that looked like it hasn't seen the light of day in, 20 years. And that was the Champ. It was that little underground music venue that nobody knew except the few local people in the scene. But my first band, Shoes to Fill, played our very first show there, and we did not fit in with the other bands because, you had Maylene and the Sons of Disaster, which is a straight up metal band. And then you had us going up doing songs like Danny California and doing Little Black Submarines.
It's about doing it. It's not
yeah.
about at that level. It's about getting the gig, not necessarily about where you fit in.
Right. And I will say from that point on, we had gone back to the Champ a handful of times afterwards, and we had a little bit more of a repertoire of original music that fit that scene a little bit more. Yeah. We had done some lineup changes and changed the style of writing, where we went from like a psychedelic rock, like alt rock kind of feel, to a hard rock that also had like prog influence, so that we fit a little bit more there.
Again, sometimes about doing the gig, but then also sometimes about finding the show. So.
That very first show, I will always remember, and I've told this numerous times. We're going into, or we were playing Danny, California, and if you remember the solo at the end of that, where it's all just wah pedal, I go in for the wah pedal. I put my foot on my pedal, and a mouse runs right over my foot. I screamed because I don't like mice, I don't like spiders, and I don't like snakes. And I was like, I was losing my shit.
And that was the end of it.
But all in all, I'm sad that it closed down because it has such a soft spot in my heart, almost like that Full House episode where they went to close the club that Jesse and the Rippers played at. But all in all, that one is my number 4, the Champ in Lemoyne.
Not bad. Pardon my coughing, folks. The cold is getting at me. So my number 4 is we're going to find that a few of mine are no longer in service. Would be Tubby's nightclub up in Duncannon.
I've heard much about Tubby's.
I had heard about Tubby's for years. It was Tubby's, then it was Rock Cat, then it was Tubby's. I had never gone there. It was about Duncannon. It was too far away from New York for me to drive up for a show. You know, I'd known Adrian Blitzer, had played there for years, and we had been friends with them. But it wasn't until Fell From Zero came along. Fell From Zero did their first gig there. Our first bass player, Brian, the originator of the band, who also was an Adrian Blitzer at the time, was like, I can get us this gig. We're going to promote this. We're going to do this band right. He was always about, we were going to make this band something that no one else was doing. And we were going to go out like professionals from day one. No, we're going to do an opener and see how it is. We're going to go play a gig. And that's what we did. And we actually had Bullet Method open that gig for us. Like,
okay.
They played like an hour. And that place, show after show after show, was our home, was Fell From Zero's home.
Right.
Big stage, big open room, out in the middle of nowhere, making as much loud rock as we wanted. Cool staff. We just had a really good time. Hell, Dave gave me my metal card that first show because I had been doing Chimpo for so long and doing acoustic stuff with BJ and Ken that I hadn't even tried to do that kind of stuff before.
Right.
So I was very nervous I wouldn't be able to do it. Having Jake do the backup vocals, that I couldn't do any of the heavy stuff then at all.
Right.
Whereas I can now, I couldn't then.
Right.
And that band was going to live or die on whether or not we made it work, and we did. And Dave had made like a metal card out of just like a piece of paper, wrote metal card, and laminated it with tape and like brought it up to me on stage. And I got to show it to everyone. It was, and that was the first time we played there. And just on and on and on after that, it just became a cool place. Unfortunately, it burned down a couple years in our run, and it was supposed to be rebuilt, never was. So Tubby's will always have a place for me. That it just, I had some of the coolest shows early on in that band that we could ever have, and one of the coolest venues we could have done it in. I wish it was still around when Next to Nothing came around, because we would have blown that place up with tribute stuff. But
yeah.
So definitely Tubby's in Duncannon, rest in peace. Rest in power, my friends. That was definitely my number 4.
Yeah.
For sure.
So moving on to number 3, I have Love Drafts Brewing Company in Mechanicsburg. I've played there now a handful of times between now Lisdexia and in like the Lamp. We had played there numerous times. That venue, from its start to now, to see its growth,
agreed,
is insane. And I'm like, I compared videos from this past Lisdexia show to the first time like the Lamps played there, just to see the growth in the stage is enormous, and the overall sound as well. That venue has such a good spot for local music as well as some touring music, because Cold is coming around there.
I think Sunday. Is it? Or maybe next Sunday?
I know it's coming up soon.
It's a couple Sundays.
Because it's Cold and Orgy, right?
Orgy, yeah. I believe it's on a Sunday.
I'm still debating if I can go to that.
I want to feel like it's this coming Sunday, because we can't go because of Asking Alexandria. I think there was a reason we couldn't go, because my wife really enjoys Cold.
I love Cold,
but
they were my last show at the Chameleon.
The Chameleon.
Rest in peace, Chameleon.
By the way, which is not going to make my list. I want to get that out there. I said no honorable mentions. I only ever played the Chameleon stage once. We did an opener and Fell From Zero for Bullet Method.
Yeah.
All the years I saw hundreds of shows there. And when we do an episode about our favorite venues to see shows, Spoilers,
on.
Communion Club's going to show up. The Communion Club is a piece of the stage on my wall.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
studio. That place, I saw my first Breaking Benjamin show there. That's a whole nother episode. But
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't my favorite show. It was cool to finally get on stage there, but it doesn't make my top 5.
That's one stage I unfortunately never got to play.
Yeah. There's a history to it, but it wasn't an exceptional place to play.
Right.
It was an exceptional room to be at.
Right. Oh, I loved the shows I had seen
In my
there.
experience, it was an exceptional place to play, but that was just that one time. Anyway, that's why if someone asked why Communion didn't make it, I didn't play there enough. So,
but yeah, so the sound, the feel of the venue for Love Drafts, also the food is just banging. Now to see like the green rooms that they have in the back for people, the size of the stage. I'm big on stage size. So stage size matters.
Indeed. Stage size matters.
That's this episode's hashtag is hashtag stage size matters.
That's right.
Like I'm big on a stage size because you know how I like to move around. I like to be entertaining. And I had that with this stage. Even when it was smaller, I had room to
perform.
Yeah, I had room to perform and be as over the top and obnoxious as I like to be.
Well, nothing wrong with that. That's why it found its way on your list.
Absolutely. So my number 3, Love Drafts Brewing Company in Mechanicsburg.
I would like to say that I could put Love Drafts on a list, but I've only played there once. And I had an amazing experience, but again, not a top 5 cracker, only because I haven't done it.
Right. That's understandable.
Enough. I'll get another chance this year and so on, and it is a great stage. So definitely deserves to be on a list, and thankfully it made yours. My number 3 is a near and dear one to me because it was kind of the place that I realized what community can do for a band or a show and have a good time with. And it is in fact Craft Haven. I have had multiple shows over the past few years since right before COVID. So 5 or so years since I've been going down there as a regular, not just a guest. Done some nailed it gigs, some off. We've done some off things, but I've played there twice with Ghostlight Radio Show. And both of those equally are 2 of the best shows I've ever done in my life.
Yeah.
Not just musically. We had a great time. You've been to a couple. You know what I'm talking about. You're on a level playing field of people. There's no stage risers. You're under a pavilion on a large deck, and then a whole parking lot full of people on golf carts. The entirety of that campground shows up for that show. Yeah. And they don't do that for every band. They do it for a lot. They're super supportive. That's why I got involved with Marshall about trying to be as proactive about who we get for bands and trying to kind of take control, not because other people can't have bands. In fact, Memorial Day and July 4th this year, we're not even having anything to do with it. There's someone else's already booked those dates before we even talk to them. Yeah. Good. We can go enjoy ourselves. Sweet. But I will forever be grateful, even if I wasn't a resident there, for how good they treat us as a band. Yeah. And how much they enjoy just having us there, and how much they made that feel like a show and not just us playing on a pavilion by a beach. Yeah. It was a full-on rock party, and as big as it was when we did it again the following year, or the same time, I'm sorry, we did it for my birthday last year. Yes. And then we played for Labor Day 5 weeks later, and it was just as big, if not bigger. Yeah. Maybe because it was a holiday week, whatever. It didn't diminish. Yeah. It didn't diminish when we'd play down there at the Goose or any other places. Not only the whole campground, but people came to the campground that weekend because we were there. Yeah. Because they knew and it just, again, not a regular venue, but it is a place that has regular music now. And I expect the one time I'm going to get to do it this year, which is only going to be once, probably the same thing. Like, I can't believe it will end. To add on to that, like with Craft Haven, it dawned on me how special of a place to play that was when you and I essentially hijacked the end of the Phys Ed show. Yep. And we did that medley of, what was it? Walk, Bodies and something else. Yeah, there was a middle song because we ended with Bodies. But that moment during Bodies, and we just talked about this too,
where the crowd was singing, but you and I both screaming vocals to the crowd and just seeing them, bang their heads and jump around and have such a good time at a place that's not even a music venue.
Nope.
Is such a special place. And like, I always hold Craft Haven near and dear to myself after what now 3 years of going down there. People
don't know. It's a weird thing. It sounds like a cliche and a bad hashtag. If you know, you know.
Yeah.
And if you don't know, I invite anyone. I've been saying for years, you got there because I invited you.
Oh,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean? Like, not because I was like, oh, you're only coming if I invite you. That's not what I mean. I mean, I invite people all the time, new friends, people. You should come down. You don't have to come down for music. Come down for a weekend. But music really shows it off, and especially if it's the right thing. So I can't, it'll become apparent why it's not higher on my list, but it's definitely.
I've said to numerous people, I was like, come down, bring your tent. Like, go up into
the Grove.
Yeah, into the Grove. Get a tent, a little spot for your tent. Come down.
Need a place to crash. All you need a place to pass out.
Yeah, exactly.
Other than that, you're good to go.
That is 100% what the Grove is for.
You don't need food. You don't need any. You could show up there with nothing, and the hospitality of that place will take care of you.
Oh my God!
I mean,
what was it?
Don't show up with nothing.
Right.
But if you did, you're like, oh man, I didn't know I was coming. I don't have any booze with me. I don't have any food. We got you.
Oh my God! Yeah.
I'm not inviting freeloaders. I'm saying if it's a last minute decision, you're taken care of.
Oh my God! Well, what was it? It was last year. It was last season. I had made like the last minute decision to come down, and it might have been one of the times that Ghostlight was playing down there, and I had made that last minute decision to come down, and you guys were doing the seafood cook.
Oh yeah, that was actually my birthday weekend.
Yes, that's why I came down.
Yep, it was my birthday, and then I played that night.
Yeah, and like last minute decision, I wasn't initially coming down, and then you guys were like, "No, you gotta come down." So I came down, and oh my God, within 5 minutes of me being there, I was stuffed with food.
Right.
With chicken and all the steak that you guys were cooking, all the seafood.
And it's just, hey, help yourself. There's never anybody telling you no or stay out of our stuff.
Yeah, and I've said this to numerous people as well, that because I've been going there for 3 years now, going on 3 years, to me, I don't even have a spot there, and that place feels like a second home.
People know you. People enjoy your.
Oh my God! Yeah, I come down there and I hear
Jake, the band guy.
Yeah, I hear. Here comes Jake. Here comes Hot Dick Jake.
Hot Dick Jake, which is somehow. I heard that because someone said band guy. Jake,
band guy Jake.
And my weird brain heard Hot Dick Jake, and I didn't know what was happening. It's a long story, folks. We'll tell it over some beers at Craft Haven. But yeah, Craft Haven definitely belongs in the spot it is in, and it belongs as a place of one of the best places I've ever played.
Absolutely. So I guess moving on to number 2.
Numero dos.
Number 2, I have XL Live in Harrisburg.
I've never been able to play, and I've now given up on.
That place, I had played with Light the Lamp. It was a Christmas charity show. I have to remember who all was on that bill. It was Light the Lamp, Felt Side Out, Observe the 93rd, and Defiant. I want to say there was a 5th band, but I could also be wrong. I am wrong. It was just the 4 of us. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Eternal Frequency. So it was the 5 of us. And that venue, it has such a professional feel to it, both on the stage and backstage. From the moment you get in, you load your stuff in. They've got the whole load-in area. And it's not just I got to walk through the venue with my gear to get it up to the stage. Like, it's isolated. You have your space to get your stuff up there. And it sounds great. The stage is gigantic, which, again, stage size matters to me. And I underestimated how big of a stage this is, because this is before I was in wrestling and was, in shape. And that's a very loose term, in shape. I ran from one side of the stage to the other, and the stage was so big that when I finished running, I was so out of breath that I could barely sing the lyrics of the song we were playing.
Professional.
Yeah. And so I'm like skipping words, and I'm like,
That's all right.
But no, that's venue, and I encourage anybody that plays, if you get the opportunity to play there, to 100% do it. Yeah, that to me, that stage is a moment that will forever be in my head, that I got to play that stage. I'd always wanted to play that stage. I've known several people that have played that stage. So being able to say that I have played that stage was one that I hold in high regards.
Makes sense. I think it's an amazing room. I don't have a project that's ever going to get a chance to play there. I had hoped that someday I could, but I'm not going to. I don't chase things that aren't going to happen. But, man, it's just such a cool room, and I wish I would someday get the opportunity. But if it comes, it comes. If not,
right.
There are other things. So, but it is a very cool room, and, again, another one that does deserve to be on a list.
Right.
My number 2 is probably not going to surprise anyone who knows me, has known me these couple decades of music.
I feel like I know which one this is.
But this is a place that I played more than any place else with all my bands except Ghostlight, actually. Every one of my bands I was ever in played that stage at least once. And, of course, we're talking about Fat Daddy.
I knew it.
Which, of course, is gone, too. I guess all the good places are gone.
Yeah.
You know, people have their ups and downs about Fat Daddies over the years, about what they were about, or with the nightclub upstairs, whatever. I'm specifically talking about the Rock Room, and by extension, the outside deck on Sundays when they had, acoustic entertainment. I lived through the early 2000s when things were the Wild West when it came to band shows, man. That you couldn't move in the places. People were all fucked up. The bands were all fucked up, including mine. Everybody was drinking, having a good time. Nobody knew what was going on. Were the songs being played correctly? We didn't give a shit. We were all singing along anyway, or playing along, or whatever. And I played at that place when it was at the leanest times too, when people weren't going out and they weren't sure what was going to go on with the place. I made so many friends musically, and just artistically, and for entertainment, people to hang out with. I met so many of the people that are important in my life or have been over my whole musical journey from that place. Yeah. Most of my bandmates I met at Fat Daddy's at a show.
Right.
Over the years. Even the guys in Fell From Zero. Don at the time, Brian, our original bass player, I met them because I saw their bands play at Fat Daddy's.
Yeah.
That's how I originally would have gotten to know them. It always made a sense. The bartenders, I always, it was like Cheers for old folks. So, you roll in the Cheers and everybody else, Norm, I roll in there, Bob and Jen, here's your drinks. They knew what we were drinking. There was never an issue. It just, I got to know the owners all over the years and the staff and the sound guy, Jake, who spent most of his time reading a paper and not really running sound. We loved you, Jake, but man, there are a lot of people that didn't. There was a whole culture built around Fat Daddy's. Fat Daddy's was the only room in York like that.
Yeah.
I'd played some other places around, we used to do the Waterway a lot in other places, but those were the standing on the floor, packed rooms, not really a stage rooms.
Right.
All fun back then, but Fats was the place. I played my second show there ever. Mm-hmm. It was a battle of the bands, and we won.
Oh, really?
I had such history wrapping that with my music.
Yeah.
That I'd be wrong if I hadn't put it very high on the list. Not my number one for a show I played, but definitely a strong number 2, and strong number 2, and the most played stage I've ever been on. I had the most fun overall, like over the years in that place over any other place.
Yeah.
But I got nearly 20 years to play in that room, so makes sense.
I obviously I don't have the same sentimental attachment to Fats as you do, but like I got the chance to play Fats twice, both with Transylvania. We had done what I called the mini tour of terror, we called it, and it was when we played every weekend in October for the year, I think it was 2019. And because we had gone from, it was like we did Scott Church's the first weekend, and then we did Shocktoberfest, Fats, and then we did a show we did the Lizard Lounge, and then we were back at Fats the next Friday. And there's a funny story with us being there. the first week we were there, we were short our singer because at the time my sister-in-law was expected to have her child on that day, like on the day of the show. And my brother was like, go do it. And he's like, Jake, you know the words, just sing for this show and I'll be back afterwards. So we did that show at Fats. And the next weekend we were coming back with Disorderly Conduct. And we got to play that show, and I went to go get a drink at the bar. This was prior to me putting on my makeup because I used to wear makeup for that band. And the lady at the bar didn't remember me, but then I came back maybe about 20 minutes later after putting my makeup on, and she's like, "Oh, your drinks are free." And I was like, "I was just here and I just paid for my previous beers."
Yep. The makeup did the thing.
Oh yeah.
You Alice Cooper yourself.
I did Alice Cooper myself, which I am very happy about.
Fair
but
enough.
No, I definitely understand the attachment to Fats. In the 2 times I played there, it felt like such a special place to play. People enjoyed it. The crowds were always good and very responsive and appreciated what you were doing.
That really comes into that again. That if you know, you know thing.
Exactly.
Some people never cared for Fats. Wouldn't come to a show if I had one there. I don't go to Fat Daddy's. And to those people, I say you're missing out.
Yeah.
Some people outgrew it. Some people kids, whatever. But it always have a place. And once again, rest in power. Another great music venue in South Central PA in York that is gone. So,
yeah.
Like most of them. So our big number ones. Tell me, sir. Tell our listeners, what is the best number one place you've ever done a show at?
The best, and this may not even be a surprise because we did mention this venue, but Touch of Texas in New York was by far the best venue I have ever played at.
I am, folks. I'm in general shock here, not because I don't think it's a great place, as you heard earlier in the episode. I'm surprised this made your list. Go.
Yeah, absolutely. So, not just because of why we were there, because obviously the reasoning we were there is much more important than just us playing a show. The stage size
matters. Hashtag size
exactly.
matters.
Stage size matters. The sound.
Sorry.
The
stage size
stage
matters.
size matters.
Yeah, size matters will get us to a whole different part of the internet. Anyway.
The sound. The guy that was running our sound, phenomenal. He made us sound way better than I've ever heard us sound. The response from the crowd was something I've very seldom have experienced. People who, responded so loudly to what we do and what we played. And plus just having Patty come up and play, like the video of us doing Footloose. I watch that almost on a daily basis because that video just makes me so happy to see how much fun we had that night. And just the overall vibe, and I hate using the term vibe, but the overall vibe of the room.
No, I get it.
Was just it was so special. And, behind the curtains in the backstage area with, people, with the food and, oh my God, that mac and cheese was so good.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know why more people didn't eat it. Anyway.
But, everyone backstage having such a good time. The bands we played with were all so nice. And I'm just now repeating myself from what we talked about earlier.
No, it's all right.
It adds to what makes that venue my number one. And
the experience.
Yeah, the overall experience I had at that venue was light years away from any other venue that I've played. Everyone, again, was so appreciative. The people that, run the venue, as you said, have been like, when are you coming back or when are you going to play again? You guys were so great. And like when we had the kids that were dancing on the little riser in front of us,
yep.
For me to be able to go down and, dance along with the kids as I'm there playing and making their experience a lot more fun meant a lot to me as well. It just one thing after another. I could go on for another half hour.
And I think what a point we need to get here about this for folks listening is, for us, when we say our top 5, venues we've played at, this isn't just because we played a show there and had, oh man, I was killing it on guitar that night, which I've never said in my life. But it's about those words, the experience. These things made this list. These things mean something to each of us personally because of the experience.
Yeah.
Not because we played Madison Square Garden but because which would definitely make the top 5.
Oh, absolutely.
It could be the worst show ever. Like, I played the Garden, bro. But because of what it felt and what it did for us,
yes.
Whether it was over one show or multiple shows, like Fats was for me, this was one gig that made your number one.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's an amazing thing. And it's something that you can share your experience with, and you can be in a room and share an experience. But as the guys on stage, we shared that time at night, but we both had completely different experiences.
Right.
Like, there's something about being the performer, whether you're in a group or solo, you can't share that with anybody else.
Right.
Not at your core. You can only share the time you're there with them, but not your experience is different than mine and his and so on. And that's where you get these things from, and it made that much of an impression on you that I'm actually surprised by your number one. So far you have surprised me with some of your picks on our top 5s. That one I would not have thought would made your number one, and I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Like, ever since we decided like this was going to be our topic for this week, that was immediately my first choice. Like, don't get me wrong, I loved playing XL Live. I loved playing Love Drafts because of the experiences there. But that night at Touch of Texas passes any show I've done between the way I played, because I think me personally, I hate the way I play, but
we all do. We all have imposter syndrome, man. We all think we're bad. We are not.
I think that, I played fairly well that night. I think us as a band sounded phenomenal that night, vocally, musically, and showman, like as showmans.
The show was there.
Yeah, the show was there. Dave had his classic dance move where it looks like his knees are broken.
Right.
But like, and the drum riser, I loved. There was a drum riser that I could jump off of.
Yep. I wish I could jump without blowing out my knees. But anyway, I look like Dave dancing. It's funny you said that too, because you said as soon as we mentioned this, that was the first thing on your mind. That was your number one right away.
Yeah.
And that is how my number one was.
Really?
My number one is as soon as we brought this up, I know the best show I've ever done in my life.
And what would that be?
I bet you. I think you might have an idea. Would you care to take a guess? We've discussed this venue before.
Have we?
Yep. I believe we discussed it with Jimmy, and I discussed it. I was just recently there for a concert as an actual concert goer, not a performer.
Oh, now you're testing my memory.
That's all right. That's all right. I thought I was the old one here.
Oh, Lord. I can't think of it. No, never mind.
It is, in fact, the Queen in Delaware.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I played a show with the Breaking Benjamin tribute / really just a cover band, Next to Nothing. We did a show down there. We had been asked to play. We had just been playing. We had a handful, maybe a year's worth of gigs overall, and we had been asked to play. I got contacted because there was a Linkin Park tribute coming down from Boston, who, as we looked them up, these guys were being asked to play in like Trinidad. Like, they were legit by the videos we saw.
Yeah.
You want us to play with a Linkin Park band that's that big? Like, what's their first time here? They will technically be the headliner. We want to promote this as a Breaking Benjamin versus Linkin Park.
Okay.
Like, you know what? Sure. They paid us a decent amount, nothing to write home, but, we had to drive down there. It's an easy 2-hour drive with our gear.
Yeah.
We'll go down and do this. I mean, it's an old theater, I guess. It, was an old movie or just theater. It's that setup. We'll check this out. We roll up. Have a hell finding parking on the street. They finally tell us we can park right next to the loading docks, and we'll get special passes. So we roll the trailer up. We start loading up the ramp. Other guys there, we introduce ourselves and stuff. Like, yeah, we just drove straight in from Boston. We're like, you guys are crazy, And we get in there and like, well, your room's back here. You guys have your own little room. We're like, oh, our own little room, cool. Like, give us a green room,
Yeah.
And the Linkin Park guys had the main room, or whatever. And I knew they had some low level nationals and stuff come there. The very first impression getting in there is we had a full on like apartment sized green room. Couches, fridge, a shower, a full on private bathroom, stocked with beer and water for us. We were technically the opening band.
Yeah.
So in all this rock history in the room, you just felt the vibe.
Yeah.
To use that word. I mean, properly use that word. Everything about just that was awesome. Then we go out and they're setting up and we have to set up in front of them, and their drummer hadn't gotten there yet. He was behind another car. And they were setting up his stuff, but Jimmy was setting up in front of him.
Okay.
And they wanted to get a line check. And I was like, Jimmy, you know a couple Linkin Park songs? Because he was still in Bullet Method then.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I can do Giving Up, I guess. So Jimmy did their sound check with him, which I have a video of from Side Stage somewhere.
Oh, really?
We're looking at this big open room. We're like, man, this is going to be nuts. This place is huge. And here we are on this big stage. So we get sound check. Sound check for the Linkin Park guys. Like, oh, you guys sound pretty good. I'm like, we do okay. Like, we knew we could play Breaking Benjamin songs. So we go back to the green room. We're changed. We're just chilling out. Jen's taking band photos of us because we're back. Like, we got to take these group photos. And we kind of hear like people shuffle. People were starting to shuffle in as they were closing the curtains when we were done. So, there's maybe 20 people out there. We go out and Craig, our guitar player, goes out. He's like, I'm just going to go out and, get ready. It's getting close. I'm going to look. Looks out the curtain. He's like, guys, look out. The place is packed. Got to be 400 people out there.
Yeah.
400 people out there. We're like, this is a smaller theater venue, but it packs people in.
Yeah.
We're like, holy hell, these people really want to see Linkin Park.
Yeah.
We get out there and we get ready to do our thing. And, I had sound issues with my mic setting up. So the sound guys let me use one of their like high-end Sennheiser handhelds, which I ended up buying one that model that week. I'm like, no more screwing around with $200 microphones. We're doing this.
Yeah.
Like everything was kind of going our way. They opened those curtains and I realized 2/3 of the people in that place were wearing Breaking Benjamin t-shirts.
Really?
People came to see us do this thing that we had a couple videos online, which weren't great.
Yeah.
And that show was amazing. We played so well for like 45, 50 minutes. Crowd was eating up. I felt there was we might as well have been Breaking Benjamin the way they were treating us.
Yeah.
From the floor to the stage. We got done. We're kind of getting our stage stuff off. Those guys are set up. We're still trying. We're loading right out to the truck so we can be done.
Yeah.
And those guys are starting to set like hell. We're missing the beginning of the Linkin Park set. We finally get out. The staff is stopping us at every door. They're going, you guys are awesome. Like everything about this was a different. Like the security guys and the ushers and stuff, they don't have to tell you anything. They don't have to even talk to you.
Yeah.
They were stopping us while we're trying to load out, telling us what a great job we did. So we get out there and we're enjoying this Linkin Park band, which, by the way, Hybrid Theory, they were amazing.
Yeah.
I've done another gig with them where they also have a Korn band and they had a Godset. They did different tributes to keep things going.
Yeah.
They're on, and I suddenly start getting asked to take pictures with people.
Really?
People had like their little kids, like, oh, can we take a picture with your band? You guys are awesome. Like, will you sign our drumsticks? Like, Tim at one point, Tim and Lyndhurst is in that band too. Tim at one point leaned over and goes, they know you're not Ben Burnley, right? I'm like, I don't know. Like, this, everybody treated us, they're like, oh, you guys are so good. We're so glad we came. It was also a Live Nation event, which we didn't know after we booked it. So, like, people were legit going online and buying tickets for this.
Yeah.
Like, I got a check from Live Nation. Like, everything about this is about as professional as I've ever done. But the venue itself was so awesome. The crowd was awesome. The stat, everything about it, I remember it in such vivid detail because it was so good.
Yeah.
I've done, with next to nothing, I've done dozens of shows with them over the couple of years till we kind of fell, COVID kept us from playing much. And our first show we played at Fat Daddy's was amazing. People, that was going to be the show.
Yeah.
We're going to do this one time. And there were people that came from like Wilkes-Barre area to see us. They're like, oh, we love Breaking Benjamin. We knew this guy's growing up. You guys killed it. I'm like, well, we killed something. We had to work things out as we went. But that Queen show might have been the best show we ever did. Now, run that back to last September. We played the show at Love Drafts.
Yep.
Again, I got the chance to play there too. Very cool. And we were kind of killer for a bunch of guys who hadn't played together in like a year. I think we killed that set, but it still wasn't quite as good as that night at the Queen.
Right.
Like nothing's ever reached that for any of my bands, and that's no slack on me or my bands.
Yeah.
All these shows I've ever done, nothing was ever quite as good as the feeling I got from that and how cool that venue was. And then to go back there just a month or two ago to see Santa Sonia and Blackstone Cherry.
Oh, is that where that was?
Yeah. Being on the other side of it, I didn't really get to go there for a show. Like I saw some of the Hybrid Theory set, but
yeah,
I was being asked to sign things and hang out. And
you
talk.
Weren't focused on the matter at hand.
That is an amazing venue to see a show. It sounds awesome. At least the rock show. That's my experience with it.
Yeah.
Everything about it's cool. It's easy to get to. Parking right across the street. And I went on a Sunday night. Could be
Right.
in March or whatever. It could be something different. But and from York, it's like an hour and 40 minutes.
That's not bad at all.
Like it's an easy drive. Everything about it makes me want to go back there, but I would love to play there again someday.
Yeah.
And that will always be my number one until I play there again, and it's probably my number one again. That's just so. My number one, definitely the Queen in Wilmington, Delaware. I could talk about that show alone for an hour.
Yeah.
So there it is, my top 5. I said I wasn't going to do any honorable mentions. There is a place I do want to mention that, not for any reason, not that I had like great shows, but the shows I played at were great. Because I usually was almost always an opener for Negative Space.
Okay.
Was the Village in Lancaster.
Okay.
I played a lot of shows, different bands there. I split some bills. I even had a headliner once or twice. But the shows when I was in Instant Transmission and we opened up for Negative Space, they packed that place with hundreds of people. You couldn't move in that place. Every show they were there.
Yeah.
And we got to open up for that. And it wasn't like, oh, the opening band's on, so I'll hang out at the bar. They filled the dance floor because they wanted their spot for Negative Space.
Right.
We got to play for those shows, and they were amazing shows. Cool. Upstairs, the green room there was a little room, 2 rooms for the bands. Each bands that were on, they were just covered in graffiti from bands. Cool vibe. Cool scene thing. Cool Lancaster scene thing. But I never had a show I was like, that's the greatest thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
I had some really good times there. Village might have made my number 6.
Okay.
But I do think that, and I only bring it up because it just was recently announced that the original owner of the Chameleon Club has bought the Village and is reopening it.
Oh.
To do bands. He's going to do 2 stages, kind of have a Lizard Lounge stage in the back again.
Yeah.
So the Village is coming back, and maybe I'll get a chance to
Hey.
change the spot on the list. So
There you go.
So that's our top 5 places or venues or whatever, places we've played.
Yes.
That we feel are our top 5. I like our top 5 stuff.
I do too.
I do want to put this out here for those that are listening, and I'll probably hit our socials, which I do apologize for anybody who doesn't think we promote enough. We don't.
Yeah.
We need to be a little. I've just been so busy with other band stuff, and of course stuff with my sister. I'm not using that as an excuse, but a lot going on. Didn't have a lot to talk about as far as promotion because we hadn't recorded. But I think I want to start opening it up. If people want to email us or message us on Facebook with questions about any of this stuff or anything, topics they want us to talk about, I think we can start answering them on air.
Yes.
We have enough lead time that if people start listening now and we'll start pushing us on our socials, that they can send us these questions and we'll get to them. We'll pick out, go through them, maybe read them all, maybe read some, whatever. I'd love to get some interaction that way. And since we're not doing this on a Tuesday night and putting it on a Wednesday, we have the time to get the questions in and go over them.
Right.
Also coming up, we have spoken, you mentioned earlier, you talked to Addie Grace about coming on. We're hoping to get an interview with her or sit down with her at some point.
Yep.
We are going to have our buddy Dave Gates on here.
Yes.
The idea was to have him pretty much the same time I spoke with him for his podcast, but I rambled on for 2.5 hours, so there was no time to talk to him for ours. And some other things I want to do, maybe some mobiles. We're still going to get a chance to talk to Lyndhurst.
Yes.
So hopefully we can get some guest stuff, going to do some mobile stuff, and hopefully we can work out some weekends down at the CH at the Craft Haven this summer, whether it's during the band or just on a weekend. Maybe we'll just do a little round table. We'll sit down with maybe our friend Dave Heisey, who's one of the best musicians we know. You know, let Marshall talk about Marshall. Not only was in a band, over time, but Marshall is a music guy. We'll just sit down at a little round table one day out on the deck talking about, have some beers and just do a mini episode about, what goes on in those guys' lives. So we got some things coming, folks. So
yes.
Other than that, I got nothing. If you got nothing,
I got nothing.
As I would say something about our show tomorrow, but this won't air before we play. So
right.
If we see you there, hey, nice seeing you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming, and that's going to be it for episode 4 of season 2.
Episode 4
of Nailed It the Podcast. That's right, season 2, episode 4. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. So without anything else, once again, I'm Bob.
I'm Jake.
And this has been
Nailed It the Podcast.
Later.
Bye.
Nailed it.
Yeah, size matters will get us to a whole different part of the internet.